And hello and welcome to Blind Tag Wrestling News Now. This is going to be the preview for Dynamite Grand Slam. I can't believe we're already here.
I know.
I mean, it feels like just yesterday that we announced the Arthur Ashe Stadium event, and we were all pretty excited about it, but we were a little overwhelmed because there were so many rumors about people that might be showing up. Mm-hmm. There was rumors about things that could be happening.
Oh, yeah.
And we were like, maybe. If one of them happens, you know, okay, something might I think we had just got the surprise and it was Christian at the time. And nothing against Christian.
We love Christian.
Love Christian. Okay. We love Christians in general. All
yes,
right?
We do.
And no, listen, I had to say it as a joke. but that really had just happened. And so we're just like, well, who knows, right? Anything can happen. But what did we get? Well, we got the return of CM freaking Punk. Mm-hmm. We got the in-ring return of CM Punk. We got All Out, which is the greatest pay-per-view I have ever seen in my entire life.
Just ridiculous.
We got on that pay-per-view the debut of Minoru Suzuki. We got the return. We got the return of the American Dragon. It's true.
Yes, we did.
We got Danielson.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, we got Bryan Danielson debuting. We got Adam Cole
Baby
debuting, and it was just fantastic. And of course, Ruby,
yes.
Ruby Soho debuting. I mean, it changed the game. Look, there was a bunch of lapsed fans.
Yes.
And I just recently watched a video made by a guy, and you guys should check this out because I love the channel. And I'm never scared to tell people, listen, I'm a Wrestling Observer subscriber. Mm-hmm. I'm on again, off again with some other website. Watch as much What Culture as I possibly can.
Right.
I love Wrestle Talk with Ollie and the guys. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of stuff out there, and Sean Ross Sapp, I keep up with him. Went back and forth on some of the Fightful Select stuff. But I think it's good to have a good, healthy balance of everything.
Right.
I'm an insider, so I get tidbits. I get tidbits, and I have to act like I'm not looking for tidbits when I get them, and then I don't use them.
Right? Yeah. No.
Never do I use them. But Uncle Dave's probably my favorite. Like,
yeah,
I have a little Dave shrine that I pray to at the end of the night every night. But
he's the standard.
So everything changed, and you can feel this huge swath of momentum. Mm-hmm. You can feel this energy. You can feel this excitement. You can feel fans just really taking it to it. And you stop hearing, like, with everything that's happened with NXT recently, that went by the wayside, and all of a sudden we shifted to a war with Monday Night Raw ratings, right?
Right.
With the demo.
Yeah.
And, they're at 2 weeks in a row on the demo wins. And it's going to be a big one this coming week because the other side, they got a hell of a main event. Mm-hmm. And you've got Dynamite that's got, oh my God, the greatest show in the history of free television.
Oh, yeah.
It's just, I'll say it from top to bottom. If you take the 2-hour Rampage and the 2-hour Dynamite we're getting ready to tell you about, and you put them as what they are, which is one card, one night that people will be at, it's one of the best on papers you'll ever see.
Oh, yeah.
So
no contest.
Just fantastic stuff, man. So we're going to dive right into it first with some of the cool things about the numbers. Yeah. Again, this is the first wrestling event ever in the history of Arthur Ashe Stadium. This is where they have Wimbledon.
Yeah.
And it took a lot of doing to get this done. There's some internal workings. They have some people that know some people.
Yeah.
And it was really fun listening to Tony Schiavone on his podcast, talking to Conrad Thompson about, all the stuff that went into this to make this happen. Mm-hmm. And of course, this was originally going to be the debut of Bryan Danielson was the rumor, but they pushed that forward for, pandemic reasons, actually, is what the rumor and innuendo
they were afraid
was.
This show wasn't going to happen.
Right. And
they were like, oh, crap.
Well, I mean, just think about Brody Lee. Mm-hmm. His original debut was supposed to be at the first version of Blood and Guts, which would have been at Rochester in his hometown.
Yes.
And we'll get to Rochester shortly. Mm-hmm. But this is also not just a big event because of that, a very unique looking venue, but it's also New York City proper.
Yeah.
Okay, this is New York City proper. We've been dancing around New York City now before and after this event, outselling WWE by leaps and bounds.
Yeah.
They both have a Long Island show coming up.
Yes.
And that is in a new arena, and the whole thing on ticket sales is 3-1.
Yes.
AEW outselling the WWE, and the WWE event happens before the AEW one. And the WWE went and booked that after AEW booked it.
Yeah.
But that's not happening like they thought.
No,
it's almost sold out. Here's something else you might not know. This is hot off the press. Tony Khan, the good Khan in the universe, he is wanting to have, certain staples in the world, certain anniversary events, that you always know is going to be around this time. Well, this year we're having a Dynamite the night before Thanksgiving.
Ooh.
And they have got, they're coming back to Chicago, and before anything's announced, before there's even been like a proper on sale and all this, they had sold like 4,000 or 5,000 tickets. Wow. It's going to be sold out.
Wow.
And the night before Thanksgiving, for me, a traditionalist in the pro wrestling world, Thanksgiving night used to be the thing. That used to be when wrestling happened. Being in pro wrestling now for 21, almost 22 years, my God. We still on the indie level have the big Thanksgiving cards.
Yeah.
So Thanksgiving, Christmas, people normally have money, families are together. It's a great time to get the kids out and all this.
Yeah.
But man, I love watching wrestling on Thanksgiving. So I'm pretty excited about that. But business is good, right? So you got to keep that momentum going. You want to give someone something memorable. So this is the big thing about this. You got the big Dynamite Grand Slam, and which also we've been having the Grand Slam New Japan events. We still think that's interesting.
Yeah.
We still don't think that's coincidence.
No, it can't be. Can it?
I know tennis Grand Slam, but we just had the Grand Slam. And they're even talking different Grand Slams here. One's baseball Grand Slam, and the other's like you win a Grand Slam in tennis. But
they're both stadium shows.
Right. Listen, I'm so excited. I've never done this. Now I have the paranormal show. I've been in front of cameras for years and years and years. I've never stuck a dirty, nasty tobacco dip in my mouth. And I'll have I had to put one in. I was like, listen, I know this is against our rules, but
too excited. Gotta have it.
I am so excited. You'll never see this again. And when you tune in for the proper news that is starting this week, you'll see me daily, and I won't have one in. So there you go. So getting to this, another interesting thing about this, this is going to be the largest event in New York City from a ticket standpoint in more than 10 years.
Wow. That's impressive.
So that's a pretty big deal. And of course that's not a WWE event in the WWE stranglehold. So that's pretty huge right now because of the current construction. The setup at Madison Square Garden, it's a 15,000 set up, for a sellout.
Right.
So it used to be more, but it's just because of their stage and whatnot. Just some really cool things about this. Very excited about where we're going with this, and following up this week. They even had to make Rampage 2 hours.
Yeah.
So you're getting 4 hours here.
Yes.
But even following up this week, we go to Rochester, New York, and we just think there could be something big. We'll get rumors last. So Raja, I'm going to kick it over to you. Once you get us started on some of the things with Dynamite that we're looking forward to, and I'll kind of comment in on the matches.
All right. Well, I do want to point out that there are only 845 tickets for the show left.
Yeah.
That's it.
Right.
Of like a 19,000 plus capacity.
Right.
So expect a large crowd. So starting with Dynamite from the bottom of the card, we have MJF versus Brian Pillman Jr.
That's the opener, dude. So
I'm not sure exactly what order the matches are going to be in, but I'm just going from
the first one,
the bottom to the top.
The first one we're talking, and it seems to make sense as the opener, don't it?
Yes,
unless
does.
they might add something else, like a tournament. I mean, like a battle royal or something. I mean,
them being them, they probably going to open with Cody or something.
Yeah, you never know. But MJF versus Brian Pillman Jr. If you've been keeping up with it, obviously this goes. The whole storyline of MJF running his mouth, really transitioning quickly from the Chris Jericho feud to this feud, which is great. And I'm here for it. I mean, I think that it's given Brian Pillman Jr. a nice little position. Now, I think he may need something extra right now. It's just he has been featured in the tag team, but I don't know. They've made it personal enough where I think the fans will be there.
Oh yeah,
People
and he's gonna beat the socks off of him.
Yeah, I think one of the bigger things to look for in this is the Wardlow turn.
Oh yeah, they've been hinting at that.
Yeah.
We've been waiting for it. Come on, War Dog.
I think Brian Pillman Jr. may go over, and I think it might be because of Wardlow. I really
we can
do.
only hope.
Unless Metheny shows up. God bless MJF.
Okay, then. Next, we have a tag team match between FTR and Darby Allin and Sting.
So, is it just me, or did ripping your arm off and almost dying re-galvanize FTR and their hardcore?
Yeah, it's like they got even stronger. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's like the old school nature. It's like you're reminded how much time you have left. It was never them. It was kind of the booking or whatever. And look, sometimes things click, sometimes they don't.
Right.
They're still featured more prominently and respectfully than they were. Mm-hmm. And I love the Tully thing. I love the added layers to this match, because if you look at this match in a breakdown level, Tully's already called out Sting. Now, old school, so much history.
Yeah.
So much history there. I was live in attendance when the Horsemen destroyed Sting and kicked him out of the Horsemen. Mm-hmm. I was there live as a child and remember it vividly. And I also remember WCW making me get up and move my seat so we could make it look more full on camera. That happened to me for 3 straight years.
Wow.
I would have like these, like not so good, because I always had front row, and then I stopped buying front row because they would be like, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't mind, could you move down to one of these nice front row seats? And,
so why pay for front row?
Yeah.
If you're going to get moved there anyway.
Yeah. So I was there live for that. Hell, I was live at the War Games in '96 with the angle that really made people angry with Sting. And, well, you fans know what I'm talking about. Fake Sting. Big night for that. But yeah, this has got a lot of stuff to it. I think Tully and Sting end up being a big part of this.
Probably.
But honestly, I think FTR goes over on Darby and Sting. I mean, two of your biggest icons, really, the current icon, and that would be 2 big losses for Darby in a row, though.
Yes, it would.
So I don't know, man. It's interesting where this goes, but it also could end up being some kind of big deal with the Horsemen. I would have thought at one time, but with our current playing around from hell stuff, I don't think a lot of plans could happen.
Yeah.
That were happening.
I got you.
So we go on to we go from a feudy top thing to big feudy top thing.
Oh yeah.
What we got coming up next?
Next would be Cody Rhodes versus Malachi Black.
So I'm representing Cody. I'm representing the Rhodes family here because I love Cody Rhodes. I do. I love Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes is just, I mean, you get a good, passionate Cody promo. Again, live in attendance in Charlotte before he went into the match with Chris Jericho. Mm-hmm. It was amazing promo. Just an amazing promo. You see here, we got Cody represented here as well. Mm-hmm. Just very excited about this match. However, we're still building Malachi Black.
Yeah.
Malachi's ran through the whole family. Mm-hmm. They're on the down, and you got the Rhodes to the Top series getting ready to start, all that good stuff. Cody's been teasing a lot of fire graphics and things. I don't know how he's going to come out. Maybe it's to fight fire with fire.
Maybe.
It might be, hopefully it's not emo Cody. Just because we love your blonde hair, bro.
Yes.
But, he could always have the bear back with him. That would be good.
Just bring them both.
But I have another, I don't know. It's going to be interesting.
It is.
It's interesting.
It's going to be a hell of a match.
I love it when I don't know how it's going to go, except for the fact that I think it will be a hell of a match. I think there'll be color in this match.
You think?
I think there'll be some blood.
Oh, we love some blood.
In this match.
Are we allowed to say blood on here?
Oh, yeah. So where do we go next?
So we have our first title match of the evening, the AEW Women's Championship match between Britt Baker and Ruby Soho. Yeah,
so DMD, who everybody loves, against Ruby Soho.
Yes.
And who everybody loves.
Yes.
So,
oh man, they got some real fire going into this match.
This match could totally be interesting.
It's definitely going to be interesting.
It wouldn't surprise me if Ruby somehow won the belt.
Oh.
Because of some shenanigans.
Right.
But it also wouldn't surprise me to see a big debut.
Oh, really?
With a woman or women.
2 women that happen to fight together?
You don't know.
You really don't. You never know.
We just don't know. There's a lot of tag teams around right now that I don't know. This is going to, at the very least, be a big match. I don't think Britt will lose it because we are planning and building, rumor-wise, to the big Thunder Rosa Britt Baker match, which is right now looking to be maybe a cage match.
Ooh.
And, pay-per-view headlining the pay-per-view is what they're looking at, which, awesome. Yes. Because it deserves it.
Yes.
And so I don't know. This one, I would say if I had to make a pick, I would say Britt.
Yeah, me too.
And get us to this match.
And of course, we have Kenny Omega versus Bryan Danielson in a non-title match, but nonetheless.
Yeah, well,
an amazing match.
I'm glad it's non-title. Because then no one can say, well, they just gave him the title match off the bat. But then again, Meltzer in Wrestling Observer this week gave a good point. UFC, you have some big money match come in. Mm-hmm. You don't make that wait.
Yeah.
You're selling tickets here, folks. Yes, you got the rankings, and that's great. Someone can also earn to get up to that number 1 contender slot, get a title shot.
Right.
But if you have a world-class athlete headlining WrestleMania, coming in, world champion at the other place, he's on that caliber, and people say he's the best in the world. Right. And we know who the best bout machine is. So, it's when you can get a square off in an arena where the match is not going to happen for those live attendance fans. Okay. And which happened with Dynamite, and you've got them standing there. And usually when fans are getting another match built for them, that's not going to be in front of them, they're kind of like ho-hum.
Right. They're like, oh, I wish we were seeing that.
Instead, we get a holy ass chant, here for this, which was exciting.
Oh, it was.
Because we felt it too.
Yes.
You see these guys square off. Now, little quinky dink here, a little fact, they faced off one other time in their careers, okay, in a singles match. 2009 PWG. It was Kenny Omega, who nobody knew, smart fans did.
Right.
Against Bryan Danielson, American Dragon, before he went off to WWE for 10 years. So this will be Bryan's first match in over 10 years outside of WWE.
Yeah.
And so this is the first Bryan Danielson American Dragon. If you've never seen American Dragon, shame, we all know your name.
Ouch is all I have to say.
You need to go watch some Ring of Honor. You need to go watch some Ring of Honor matches and see the whole metamorphosis of the American Dragon.
Oh, yeah.
Just fantastic stuff, So this is crazy. How do you go with it? If Bryan wins, it really puts that lock in there for a title match.
It does.
But I predict Bryan loses, but still could be in there for a title match, maybe a 3-way because of how he loses. Because, I don't know. There might be a Hangman show.
Yeah, I was going to ask you if you thought, hey, this is when Hangman's going to return.
So Hangman shows up, maybe tries to help Bryan or something, and causes the loss.
Oh, God, because that's all he needs in his life right now.
But Hangman versus Bryan Danielson's also intriguing, and a 3-way is super intriguing.
It's about time for him to come back to get ready for Full Gear.
Yeah, and don't forget, Bryan Danielson versus CM Punk's probably one of the greatest feuds of all time. And it's just lingering there for you.
It's just there.
So, it's pretty exciting, really exciting. Yes. This is from the atmosphere to the ambiance to the matches to the surprises to everything. My God, the biggest Dynamite on paper ever.
Yes.
Get us to Rampage.
All right. So on Rampage, we will be seeing Anna Jay versus Penelope Ford.
Yes. Listen, they've been building this really well. Anna Jay, everybody's super excited about her being back. The Dark Order atmosphere on this. I think we see the Dark Order storyline progress even further on this because I feel we're getting a blow off on that storyline the next week.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. And then you have...
Well, we can talk about that now, honestly.
Oh, you think?
We think we could be wrong, but because some of the things have said that Bray Wyatt's, Wyndham Rotundo's non-compete is actually up in time for Rochester. Rochester, Brody Lee's hometown, the place he wanted to debut.
Yes.
The only person that we could see ever lead in Dark Order other than Brody Lee would be, well, Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
They makes all the sense in the world.
He fits right in there.
Makes all the sense in the world.
It really does.
And hopefully it's a combo weird fiend character that doesn't have the supernatural powers. And I know it wouldn't because Tony's completely against the supernatural power stuff.
Right.
He did the one thing I think he still regrets. So
yeah, they definitely have to rework it.
Yeah, not hard to do.
No, not at all. Not with his mind.
Colt Lear Bray Wyatt was the best.
Yeah.
You know, wouldn't you?
We want the Fireflies back.
20,000 people with Fireflies.
I can't wait.
That would be some good stuff.
I can't wait.
So
let's move on here to Chris Jericho and Jake Hager versus the Men of the Year.
Yes.
Yes.
They've been building this up as well, quite a bit. And of course, you get the American Top Team's Dan Lambert involved in this.
Oh, yeah.
One of the greatest managers to come organically out of nowhere in years and years and years. And I'm a big fan of that, obviously. But I think that this is going to be a big deal, and I think it's going to be a big win for Men of the Year. I think they're going to go over on Jericho and Hager.
Oh,
and
starting to lift them up.
Yeah, really, really position them better.
Right.
And, something funny I was looking at earlier, the wealth of tag teams. If we would have a Crockett Cup type tag team tournament right now, it'd be fantastic. Because I don't know if anybody thinks about this. This is the current AEW tag team division. Are you ready for this?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. So on ones that only occasionally team, you got like Team Taz, Jericho and Hager, 5 and 10.
Right.
Lee Johnson, Brock Anderson. But then you've got the Factory, Chaos Project, the Wingmen, Bear Country, Gun Club, the Seidel Brothers, TH2, Top Flight, 2.0, Private Party, The Acclaimed, the Varsity Blondes, Silvers and Reynolds, Men of the Year, Uno and Grayson, the Good Brothers, the Butcher and the Blade, the Jurassic Express, the Best Friends, Mox and Kingston, Santana and Ortiz, FTR, the Young Bucks, and our illustrious champions, the Lucha Bros.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Yeah. So think about that.
That's an amazing tag team division.
That is tag team wrestling.
We knew it was stacked, but good Lord.
That is tag team wrestling.
It is.
It'd be fun just to come up with a dream tournament for that.
Yeah.
And that's basically what we get to see every week.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah,
So, speaking of our illustrious tag team champions, they have a match where they are teaming with Santana and Ortiz versus the Butcher and the Blade and Private Party.
Okay, so this is going to be an incredible match. A lot of crazy spots, a lot of fun, and a build-up to somebody else mentioned. We won't take credit for this, but it hit us, and we were like, oh my God.
Yeah, we were like, oh man.
Setting up Lucha Bros against Santana and Ortiz.
Oh man.
And listen, this is the feud we want.
Yeah.
This is the feud we want, the long-term feud we want. I would love to see a series of matches with these two teams.
Yeah. I'm happy if it's like a respect thing. Like, you're the best, we're the best. They're not like mad at each other. They just know they can do great things together.
It's fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic.
It is.
I think the Lucha Bro team goes over.
Yeah, definitely. They're the champions.
Yeah.
So we're also going to see CM Punk versus Powerhouse Hobbs.
This one, I have no idea what's going to happen.
Me either.
I think that it's great. It's another one, Punk facing a big, powerhouse. Mm-hmm. No
pun intended.
No pun intended. It is what it is, folks. But, so he'll be fighting in the selling capacity right off the bat, which is great, using his psychology. And I think we're going to get to see some of the strength of CM Punk and some of the resiliency. And of course, Team Taz being there, there's going to be some things pop in. It's hard to tell what'll happen. Hopefully it builds to Starks.
Yeah.
I'd like to see CM Punk and Starks.
People really want to see CM Punk face Hook.
Yeah, well,
it's like a movement.
The problem is they have to ring the bell.
Yeah.
So
we are also going to see the return of the Super Click, the Young Bucks and Adam Cole taking on Christian Cage and the Jurassic Express.
Yeah, no, listen. This match is ridiculous.
It really is.
The freaking Super Click, all right, together, the Bucks and Cole, that's the show.
Yeah.
Okay, Christian Cage, Jurassic Express, having, Jungle Boy out there, Luchasaurus. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be probably this could totally just be the show stealer.
Yeah.
Of the night. But it'll be fantastic. I bet it kicks off Rampage.
Oh yeah, knowing the Young Bucks.
But on this one, I do go with you got to have the Super Click go over.
Oh yeah, it's too fresh.
Yeah.
Can't have them losing.
Absolutely.
And in what I can only assume will be the main event because it's a lights out match, we have Eddie Kingston and Jon Moxley versus Lance Archer and Minoru Suzuki.
Little Suzuki goon action. And, I've got that on my notes. My God. That's all I wrote. We'll get Kaze ni Nare with 20,000 people. Yes. We're going to get Slobber Knocker all over the place, kicked out of the place, never allowed to come back. What are they thinking?
It's not sanctioned.
But we're getting the good thing is you're getting a little bit of everything on this card because it's AEW. Yeah. There's not a cookie cutter way they do matches. No. This is going to be fantastic. And I think other things build off of it, which is also great.
Setting up all kinds of stories.
So yeah, I think we're going to get some shocks and some awe on this card. Mm-hmm. I really do. I think we're going to get some big shocks. Maybe a turn or two, maybe a debut or two, maybe some wins you didn't expect seeing, maybe some matches that are so far beyond TV matches. I mean, these are on free TV.
Yeah.
This is gigantic. Tell your friends, and if you don't like them, tell an enemy. You just share this wherever you can because it's going to be a big deal. We'll join you with the reactions.
Oh, yeah.
After, and see what happens. But I'm pretty excited about it.
Oh, so excited. I'm mad that we're not there live, so we have to wait a day in between.
Yeah, me too.
Just wait till Friday and watch it all at once. We can't do that.
No, we can't do that. But listen, this is the kind of stuff you live for. It's fun to be a wrestling fan again. It's fun to be here with you. Mm-hmm. You're going to be seeing the Blind Tag Wrestling News now. That's going to be starting this week. And so looking forward to being with you every single day. We'll be having these videos where we sit down and we discuss things, plus our podcast. It's all relative. It's all happening. Please click subscribe for us and, come back whenever we got. You can do that by notifications.
Yes.
All right. And we really appreciate the support. Listen to the podcast. You got older episodes of the podcast and our Patreon. It's a good way to support us to keep it going. And because we want to keep bringing more and more content to you. And so very excited about it. Thanks for joining us on this and can't wait for Dynamite. For Raja, I'm John. So long from Blind Tag Wrestling News Now.
You'll never see it coming.